voted every time.
How did you avoid that in Pennsylvania?
You go down there and stoke that thing up, get the cinders out.
Oh yeah. How's practice been going for you?
You know what? I'm really pleased with. First of all, the coaches have done a nice job. They've been very professional. Done a nice job of game planning. I think the kids. We're trying to get them healthy right now, but I've been pleased with how they've practiced. I've seen them come back every day, a little more bounce in their step. It's been very good. I've been more than pleased with the coaches and the players.
For you?
You know, it's fun for me overseeing it. You know, it's enjoyable. You know, and it's humbling when the kids ask you to do it. They want you out there. You know, that's why we're all here. You know, and you know, all of us at the university are working here because of our student athletes and our students, and we can't lose track of that.
Is it like riding a bike? Or no?
I've done this many years. Yeah, you know what? And I can't. As I told the coaches, I'm not going to jump in, and I'm not going to try to change anything. You guys have coached them all year. You know, I'll do just what I did the last time. You're going to, you know, they're going to manage. They're going to do their thing. I can manage the game, but. You know, they're doing the coaching. I don't have the relationship, and I'm not going to try to insert myself in a lot of places because I haven't built that relationship and trust with the kids. I don't know a lot of them that well. And same thing with the assistants. So, you know, I think that last time gave me an opportunity to go through it. I think communication's important, and I think we've communicated well, just what everybody's responsibilities are.
Mm-hmm. What would you say is the biggest difference compared to 2 years ago, or have you approached it exactly the same?
The biggest difference are the assistant coaches. You know, that last group was in here for, some of them were only in here for months, you know, and you know, there was a division there. Some were had offers from Brett, some had offers at NC State, some didn't have jobs, so there was much more turmoil than on this staff. And I think that was the biggest issue. The kids were great. In both cases, the players were good. The players were resilient. I thought they went out and really played hard. They played a very good Stanford team, competed, had a chance to win the ball game.
But in terms of your approach,
my approach, basically the same. I think the thing that I've probably done a better job is communicate with these assistant coaches what's expected. You know, I know this, when they go home the day after they find out that Gary's not going to be here, the wives have a lot of questions, and they better have answers. And that's the thing that we've tried to provide as administration, just exactly where they stand, what their contract reads, and review all those things for them, so that they can go home and explain it to their wife. And you know, and just the fact that, you know, we were able to get Paul in place as quickly as we did. That he would, anyone who was interested in staying, he would, you know, give them a legitimate interview and visit with all those guys. So they all knew where they stood, and they've been good. Again, they've been very professional.
Is Paul helping at all? Is there any reliance on him at all? Advice, insight?
No, I think Paul's, you know, it's really good for Paul because he gets a chance to see all the kids. He gets to watch the coaches coach. He gets to familiarize himself with the kids that have committed to us in recruiting, get caught up in recruiting. You know, he gets a good jump on his job, and you know, puts a lot of thought together on what he's going to do staff-wise and that type of thing.
As you've had a chance to watch Auburn a little more, you know, now that you hired Paul, what stands out the most to you when you really dive in?
You know, Gus Malzahn is really innovative coach, and I've followed him from afar. You know, as a very successful high school coach to coordinator, and his different stops. Very creative, creates problems with his pace on offense, and you know, you see a lot of very good athletes, a lot of good skilled players, a lot of speed. You know, they're well coached. I'm impressed.
How special is it to be able to coach your grandson in this game?
You know, it's very neat. And, you know, Joe doesn't want anybody to know I'm his grandfather. You know, he doesn't want to advertise that, and I respect that. But it's kind of fun. We had Christmas dinner the other night with all my grandkids and my children, and he came in, hey, and called me coach. I thought that was pretty cool.
First time he's ever done
Yeah,
that?
first time. Most of the time it's grandpa. It was coach the other night.
He said you texted him before you decided to coach to see if he'd be okay with it. Was his approval kind of one of the things that?
Yeah, I didn't want him to be uncomfortable. Yeah. I didn't want him to be uncomfortable. And he said, I think it would really be neat. So.
Any chance you reached out to Brett for insight on Auburn?
I haven't talked to Brett. I did. You know what? I did. I just got a call from Brett the other day. But they played Auburn a long time.
That was the first game of the year.
Yeah.
You see them, I know they've lost 3 of their last 4. The 3 SEC teams they lost to put a lot of points on the board, but they're also ranked in the top 20 offensively in the country too. What do you glean from their defensive efforts from the games you've been able to watch?
Well, the thing is they're athletic and they're big. Their linebackers middle linebackers 6'3", about 250. Yeah. So you're not going to make a living running isolation at him. You can see what they're going to do. I'm sure they're going to load the box on us. Yeah. And squeeze things down, try to press the line of scrimmage, and get a lot of people close to the line of scrimmage, and we've got to respond to that. So it's about us executing. That's the thing you learn over the years in football. It's not so much them, it's about how you execute and how you play. I'd like for us to be healthy. Hopefully when we get to Tampa, we'll have everybody back. Volts back in the lineup, I think would really help and solidify us. And Costigan, should be pretty close. We got to watch him, but we should be very, very close to full speed, 100%.
Yeah. Too bad about Zagzebski.
Yeah, you always hate to see that. You want somebody to be able to finish their career and play. That's always. You never like to see that. You hate to see it.
You've had a lot of satisfying wins in your career, but your last one Auburn game, where does that come on that list?
That's a good way to go out. I can't put that there with some of the Rose Bowls and some of the other wins we've had, but it was one of the better wins. That was a very good team that we played. And I've said many times since then, that was probably as well as any of my teams ever played. I really thought they played exceptionally well. They prepared well. We did some things differently. I gave them a day off, which in 16 years of coaching, I'd never done that before. I just felt that we were right on schedule, and gave them a day off. It would be our last work day, which was unheard of for me back then. But I really thought they performed well.
Is this coaching thing like riding a bike for you?
It is.
How's it been coming along over the last, week or so?
It's coming along well. The hardest thing for me is my legs. 2 artificial knees, man. This turf's tough on you sometimes.
What can you say about the senior class? They've been through now 2 coaching changes. You've coached them a couple times now. What can you say about the resiliency of this class?
Yeah, they're resilient. They're great kids. They like to play. They're with what Wisconsin football and Wisconsin athletics is all about. They have great pride in their university and representing us. And they're great kids. They're fun to be around.
This is going to be Melvin's last game here, and he's done some pretty special things. But how will you remember him, and what do you accomplish?
I'll remember him as probably the best back that ever came through here, and that's saying a lot. But he can do it all. He combines now power with a great burst. He can make you miss. He's one of a kind, and all the great ones that we had different styles. He's got his own style of running, but and again, a great kid, somebody that's just fun to be around. He's another one like Ronnie. His smile lights a room up.
No reservation saying he's better than Ron?
I have no reservations. Ronnie probably tell you too.
They're
different. They're different. Different style of runners. I wouldn't. Ronnie had pretty good productivity.
How are you a better coach this time than you were the last time? You learn in every game something new about yourself.
I think I won't be afraid to insert myself more. I think these guys understand if I step in. I told them, as I manage it. I was a little reluctant last time, and now I kick myself now because I was reluctant. So that's one thing that I won't hesitate to do this time around.
You're talking about play calling.
Yeah.
What you?
No, I don't want to get specific with that, but yeah, the answer is yes.
When we talked to Tanner the other day, he said he was, looking at the defensive side of the ball just to get on the field a little bit more. How do you see how he'll be used in Tampa?
Well, football players want to play. I think Tanner's a football player. They've got big receivers. And he's a big, athletic player. And you just want him on the field. I think it helps us match up back there a little better. And he'll still have a role as at quarterback also.
Did you guys have a plan B if Paul ended up, deciding this wasn't the right time to come back? Or?
Yeah, and a C, and a D, and an E.
You care to share?
No, you know what, guys, and some of the people I talk to, it's you can't expose people. If you're a head coach and talking to somebody, I did not want to ruin somebody's situation where they are, announcing that they talked to me. That's not fair to them, and that's one of the hard things about this interview process. If somebody visits with you, you have to promise them that it's confidentiality. They're not going to jeopardize their job, and so I have to honor that.
Kind of the lighter side of the hiring process. I don't know if you've been asked this yet, but a story came out yesterday about some of the applicants about NCAA Dynasty on PlayStation and stuff. How many of those applications do you actually read?
None. Bruce Van de Velde goes through all of them and moves the ones forward that he feels I should see. I did see a couple of those. He thought those were unique, to say the least. But I got to tell you, I get those letters all the time. Everybody wants to work in the athletic department, whether they have any experience in it or not. Everybody thinks that you just go to games and go to bowl games and celebrate wins, and that's our athletic department. So everybody thinks they can do it.
Did you read Paul's? Paul submitted it.
I know you did.
Okay.
We had him write it out.
Did you have him?
He did two of them, as a matter of fact.
Why?
First one was in longhand.
So you did read his application, or did you know enough about him that you didn't have to do that?
Obviously, I knew enough about Paul.
Just checking to make sure.
You get many longhand resumes anymore?
Guys, you'd be surprised what I get, and some of the topics.
Thanks for your time.
Okay, guys.
Thank you, Barry. Thanks, Barry.